prove that, then you are acquitted because there is a presumption of innocence. But I don't think anyone in the world would like to give Iraq a presumption of innocence. Certainly not. We need the evidence to feel confident that they don't have it. Well, we are not the ones who have sort of established the 27th of January as the end of history. History didn't start with the resolution that came last autumn, although it is a very important one, and we welcomed it because it strengthens our power, and above all it demonstrated the unanimity of the Security Council. But we were asked in that resolution to update the Council. Update is not a final report, it's an updating about what has happened and what have we learned in these 2 months. That's what we're going to do, and we can see a lot of work ahead of us beyond that date if we are allowed to do so. The technology is developing, and one thing is so-called environmental sampling. You know, you find something on your suit, and they take just a little fragment and analyze, and they can say that, well, they're dealing with enrichment, or they're dealing with one chemical or another. It's going to be that we need to have more evidence supplied to us. There are a great many open questions as to their possession of weapons of mass destruction, and the Security Council in the world would like to be assured that these questions be sorted out. Iraq submitted a declaration that was very long, but it did not contain much or anything really by way of evidence. And I think they must realize the seriousness of the situation and do provide that. And we think they have more evidence. It may be that it's difficult to find documentary evidence, but they do have, after all, the budgets, they have the production reports, they have the destruction reports, they have records of the imports, bills of lading, transport, etc. So we think they should take that seriously and come up with this evidence. And I think also the show of force demonstrates to Iraqis that here is the other alternative. We are perhaps 250 or 300 people on the inspection side. We cost perhaps $80 million a year. If you take the armed path to this, you are talking about $100 billion a year. You're talking about 250,000 men. You talk about a lot of people killed and injured, and a lot of damage. So I think the whole world prefers a peaceful solution if you can have one that is credible.
Right. Questions. And you said they must realize the seriousness.
Well, I think they only need to look around their borders, and they should realize the seriousness. Even when you do not find something, I see some people saying they are just running around, they don't see anything. However, if you look at the war-making capacity of a country, that's for monitoring, and in this phase, of the early phase. Well, I don't think anyone really likes to be inspected. When you go through the customs control or you meet the tax inspector, and whoever loves the inspector, I mean, I don't grudge the Iraqis, they're very proud people, and they don't love that. But at the same time, they must realize that as we go through airport controls, it's for the good of us. And it's also for them. And I think they understand that intellectually, but emotionally there may be a different thing. But what we can do is to try to be thorough, because otherwise inspections are not credible, and we also want to be correct. Time-wise also, what's happening in that early part of March.
Right.
So at the end of March we have to have the key remaining disarmament task.
But this is March 8th.
This is a little earlier. So.
Yeah, and it's a Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's a